I want to talk about Jerry Falwell Jr. for a second. Let me talk about this dude and get this out at the top. So a lot of people, a lot of new people to the Benjamin Dixon Show didn't realize that I really, you know, most of the people who got to know me over the last few months really know me as the black progressive, as a person who talks about black issues, Black Lives Matter, economics, justice, those kind of things. And not a lot of people knew that I got my start in politics dissecting religion and politics. And the reason it's super relevant is because 1/3 of Americans' voting population identify as Christian. And a large percentage of those people vote based on their religious beliefs. And those that specifically vote on their religious belief vote as Republicans. I believe over 85% of Republicans identify as evangelicals, if I don't have my numbers transposed. So you have a large population of Americans who are voting in order to instill their religious beliefs in your life. Now, I don't know if I'm religious anymore, but I'm definitely still consider myself to be a Christian, definitely raising my family the way I was raised, right? I'm, I used to do the whole church thing, and that was me, that was my life. So, that's where I come from. But the one thing I know that's more important than anything else is that we all have to be free to live our lives however we choose to. And so I'm uniquely fit to tackle the hypocrisy that has been the religious right and the moral majority. And there's no greater example of the emptiness of this commitment to vote for the Republican Party out of some sense of morality or out of some compulsion to try to impose your religious beliefs on America. There's no greater example of how fraudulent that is than the enduring support of the religious right and the evangelicals for Donald Trump. And it came out today. Man, I feel like my voice is still trembling a little bit because of Tommy. But anyway, it came out today that Jerry Falwell Jr., son of the founder of the moral majority and president of Liberty University, Jerry Falwell Jr. is the president. Jerry Falwell was a former president who passed away not too long ago. Too much celebration. I can't believe how many people actually were dancing a jig over somebody. Anyway, Jerry Falwell Jr. came out today saying that he wouldn't care if Donald Trump was actually guilty of sexual assault. He would still support Donald Trump. Mike Pence, speaking, I believe he was speaking at Liberty University, said that it's more important for them to focus on the fact that Trump would be appointing judges who would respect the sanctity of life and who would respect the Second Amendment, which I'm not sure exactly how the hell the Second Amendment is something that's critical to Christian values, but okay. And then, of course, the subtext of all of that is their opposition to marriage equality. So in the midst of Donald Trump demonstrating in no uncertain terms that he is anything but a decent human being, let alone what Christians expect Christians to be like, right? If you ever went to Sunday school, you know, Donald Trump is what the Sunday school teacher would call the hellion, right? There's nothing. Donald Trump shows no remorse, shows no contrition. There's nothing about him that suggests that the religious community should look to him to be some type of moral leader or be the person to carry their religious values and instill them in your life. So this hypocrisy, like, you know, at what point do you stop and realize that I've jumped the shark here, Jerry Falwell Jr.? I've gotten to the point where you've gotten to the point where your religious views mean nothing so long as you can serve your political end. So while you're simultaneously trying to shove your religious views down the throats of people who don't want your religious views, you are sidestepping your own religion in order to serve your political end. And this conversation matters because you have millions of voters who follow this type of charlatan. You have millions of people who believe the type of drivel that comes out of his mouth. Ralph Reed, Tony Perkins, James, well, not Dobson, but James Robinson, these old vanguard of the moral majority who have enriched themselves. They have become financially wealthy by delivering the religious vote for the Republican Party. And now the Republican Party is being led by somebody who has zero morality. Like, I don't care. Judge it based on any religion, right? Judge it based on no religion. Just Donald Trump has demonstrated to the world that he has zero sense of dignity, no remorse for anything. He already says that he won't apologize for anything. He has demonstrated that instead of showing that he is truly sorry for what he did, he doubled down by spitting in the face and using those women on debate night on Sunday night, just to throw it up in the face of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, whether you agree with his tactic or not, we can all agree that that is not the signal of a man who is remorseful and has changed his ways and wants to seek forgiveness so that he could be some type of moral leader. What that signals to me, and the religious right's enduring support for him, particularly Jerry Falwell, Ralph Reed, Tony Perkins, all the rest of those guys, what it signals to me is that their religion doesn't mean anything as soon as it starts to interfere with their politics. And you know why else this is true? Because while they're so busy trying to shove their sense of sexual morality on the world, right? You're right. They want to oppose same-sex marriage. They want to tell you how to have sex. They want to tell you whether or not you can have an abortion. They want to impose their sense of sexual morality on you and what their biblical definition of sexual morality, but they completely disregard any sense of economic morality, economic justice, social justice. They completely rewrite the Bible in terms of the socialist perspectives that are in the Bible, you know, being your brother's keeper and actually providing for the poor and the indigent and the homeless and the widow and the orphan. They completely obliterate that section and focus only on sexual morality because that conveniently fits inside of the Republican paradigm. And so long as it easily fits inside of the Republican Party orthodoxy, they can continue to make their money by delivering their congregations to the Republican Party. And the reason it matters to you and I who see through this is because they are a fierce voting bloc that still affects our lives every single day. And they will seek and go after someone like Antonin Scalia, who will continue to pass and rule on decisions that would affect our lives for generations to come. All the while following a guy who is clearly anything but moral. So this is an official statement from Liberty University. Let me put Jerry Falwell Jr. back on the screen. All right. So this just came out from Liberty University, and I'll read. It's pretty long, so I'll skip through it and try to get the best parts of it. But this is an official statement, not from the university, but from a student group, and it's a statement against Donald Trump. So, like I said it earlier, it's the younger evangelicals, people who refuse to let go of their faith. They're going to maintain their faith, but they also are going to maintain a more inclusive approach to society, right? That's kind of the best we can hope for. So anyway, let me read this. In the months since Jerry Falwell Jr. endorsed him, Donald Trump has been inexorably associated with Liberty University. We are Liberty students who are disappointed with President Falwell's endorsement and are tired of being associated with one of the worst presidential candidates in American history. Okay, this is good. This is good already. Donald Trump does not represent our values, and we want nothing to do with him. A majority of Liberty students, faculty, and staff feel as though we do. Donald Trump received a pitiful 90 votes from. Okay, this is a good letter. I'm sorry. Donald Trump received a pitiful 90 votes from Liberty students in Virginia's primary election, a colossal rejection of his campaign. Nevertheless, President Falwell eagerly uses his national platform to advocate for Donald Trump. While he occasionally clarifies that supporting Trump is not the official position of Liberty University, we know it is his title and president of the largest Christian university in the world that gives him political credentials. Ding, 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 ding. Associating any politician with Christianity is damaging to the gospel of Jesus Christ. But Donald Trump is not just any politician. He has made his name by maligning others and bragging about his sins. Not only is Donald Trump a bad candidate for president, he is actively promoting the very things that we as Christians ought to oppose. Let me just stop and give him an applause there. Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to skim because it's a very long letter. Here's a takeaway. Because our president has led the world to believe that Liberty University supports Donald Trump, we students must take it upon ourselves to make it clear that Donald Trump is absolutely opposed to what we believe and does not have our support. Hear, hear. Now, it's a start, right? Because my next question is, who won the primaries? Because if it was Ted Cruz, I still got a problem with it. But at least they're recognizing the cognitive dissonance of supporting Donald Trump in the name of religion. So at least they caught that. We'll talk about Ted Cruz and John Kasich another time. And then we'll talk about how Jesus was a socialist. Ultimately, we'll get to that the next time. But good job, though, Liberty students. Good job. Well done.